Yes. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Veterans Minimum. I'm your host, Nick Dayes at the Lame Shows. You can find me, A-double-L in the building. What up?
Yo, a lot of sports is going on.
We were talking about that before we started recording, how if you think this is bad and you're overwhelmed now, wait until the FIFA World Cup next winter.
It's going to start like 7 a.m. and then 8:30 Sunday Night Football. Got to have to watch like Pat Mahomes. It's like 12 hours just nonstop sports.
Yeah. I mean, for me, usually I play football on Sundays, come home around like 11:30, 12, last minute DFS lineups, last minute fantasy lineups, and then go in. But this weekend was I went out for Josh's birthday Friday night. Shout out to Josh. I got to say, dude, I don't think I've ate this bad in a very long time.
Is it a summer thing or just events on events?
It was events on events. Okay. So Friday night went out for Josh's birthday. After drinking, I maybe had like 3 or 4 drinks. I wasn't hammered, but I didn't eat from about 5 o'clock in the afternoon because then I had jiu-jitsu at 8. Oof. So I didn't want to like go. If I eat within 90 minutes of class,
you're yakking.
It's brutal. Like I can't get through the warm up. I also feel like 100 pounds heavier. Yeah. So I try for the 8:30 classes, 5 o'clock, 5:30 is my last meal. If not, I like punish myself and not eat. So I do jiu-jitsu, and then from there, come back home, shower, take an Uber to the place. And I'm looking at the menu at the place. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but because I had a good time. It was a good time. But it
unappetizing?
It wasn't a place I would order food from.
Okay.
Just put it like that.
Okay.
The vibe was cool. Music was dope. Very Latino. You know, me, Spanish chicks.
Top.
Top of the food chain. So I was in the zone there. And then after I go to a food truck, I get a chicken souvlaki platter.
Oh, no.
Went right to bed.
Oh, no.
Wake up. Tremendous workout Saturday. Okay. No side effects, nothing. Clanging and banging. Watching the Portugal-Germany game at the gym.
Banger. From
there, I come home. I don't eat. Didn't have breakfast, nothing. Take a shower, and I head all the way to Port Jefferson. My aunt's crib out there. Little cousin's birthday. Dude, I showed you the plate. I ate so much. It was gross. And I'm talking about like penne, fried chicken, burgers, calamari, pizza.
You get excited. Sometimes you just can't hold back. Like you just see all this food around you. It's like, I got to feast. Like, how do I say no to this?
You know when you order like a sub from a sandwich place and they'll give you like those like foam containers?
Yeah.
When you open up that container, I had both sides of the plate just fucking. It was nasty. My dad goes, "You're not drinking today?" I was like, "Did you see how much I ate?"
Yeah.
Oh, and I had the greatest carrot muffin of all time.
Carrot muffin. All right.
It was just.
I'm a big muffin guy, so.
Red velvet, and
then
red velvet. Carrot cake muffin. Oh,
yeah.
Dude. I told one of the ladies there, I was like, because she said, "Oh, which one of these are good?" I was like, "Yo, the carrot cake is bomb."
Yeah.
And then I go to get one for the road, and there was no carrot cake, so she took the last one. And I was leaving. I was like, I should have been an asshole and told you not to get that one because it sucked. But
man,
it was rough. Yeah. And then today, I mean, we just had pizza.
Yeah, cleanses needed this week,
dude. I mean, I went on a 4-mile run this morning, and then I walked home. So I really did like a 6-mile trip, but still just. Damn, what are your cravings, weaknesses? You know, I put up a picture on my Instagram. It was like
Doritos,
Cool Ranch Doritos.
Okay.
Beer, pizza, and French fries.
Got it. Definitely beer is a definite guilty pleasure of mine. Other than that, I'm pretty disciplined. During the weekend I definitely like to splurge a little bit, but beer is always the one, and probably Mexican food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see, with me, I have a cheat meal. I had a cheat weekend. Yeah. So every fucking thing I ate was a nightmare. And even throughout the week.
It's hard.
Yeah. I allow myself. I kind of had like an epiphany on that run, bro. I fucking work out a lot. My regimen is crazy. I sent it to boss. He's like, yo, that's how much you work out. And I've been working out with Dylan. And then I do jiu-jitsu at night. Started doing yoga, trying to throw my leg behind my, get a little
very
flexible.
useful.
And then obviously jiu-jitsu, and then I try to get 10 miles of running a week. Not all at once, but I try to do like maybe 3 to 4 miles on Wednesday, a light run on Friday, 2 miles, and then one of the weekend days go on a run. And I'm like, yo, I should be in way better shape than I am, bro. Like the way I'm working out is like I'm a professional athlete.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I have all this new time now with just being able to create full time. I'm like, let me take advantage of it. So I allow myself 3 cheat meals a week. So if you have 21 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the week.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I allow myself 3 cheat meals. I try not to have them on the same day or back-to-back days. But you're talking about from fucking Friday. And mind you, what I ate Friday before I went to the gym was a cheeseburger deluxe. So it was just...
Dude, I don't know how you do that shit.
It was so shitty. I think I put on like 20 pounds this weekend. I didn't, but I feel like I did.
Yeah. Cleanse
Season.
Drink water, eat vegetables, eat fruit, and maybe some seafood too.
Oh my god!
That's what I recommend.
And fucking, I get hit up to go watch the games tomorrow, Monday at the time that you guys are listening to it, and then there's games on Tuesday.
Hey, we got a break Thursday and Friday this week.
Well, Wednesday you're like, yo, let's go watch the Portugal-France game. That's gonna be big.
We'll keep it clean. We'll attempt to.
Fuck,
yeah, it's gonna be a big one though.
Fuck. And then you got 4th of July coming up. Then you got the Connor fight. I'm going to AC for a bachelor party. It's like, fuck, yo. It's supposed to be Stallion Summer, and I'm fucking falling apart here.
Because New York City's back.
You went out this weekend, you were saying.
So I was out Saturday because I thought Saturday's slate for the Euros was like the best out of all the group stage. Like France-Hungary was interesting just because how good Hungary looked against Portugal. And
Until
what do you
they
know?
fell apart, yeah.
Yeah, and then what do you know? They put up a great performance against France. Obviously, Portugal, Germany, the hype was there. I went to Smithfield Hall, which is a very popular soccer bar. Grant Wall was there like the day before. I was hoping to run into it, but Grant Wall was unfortunately not there. That would be crazy.
He always randomly pops up in bars in New York City.
Why not? There's so many places to go to in the city. So I thought it was going to be a German invasion. The Portuguese held up their own. Like, there was a good Portuguese crowd. And I went over to Legends for Spain, Poland. More entertained than I thought just because Spain is just so brutal to watch. But the game actually had some good drama. So it was just cool seeing everyone out and just jerseys everywhere. Like, oh, man, dude, so many Germans around. And understandably so. This was probably like the happiest the Germans I've been since like 2014.
Yeah, if you think about it, they got housed in the 2018 World Cup. They didn't even make it out the group.
The last Euros made it to semifinal, and they did beat Italy. But besides that, I thought Germans were it was kind of like a forgettable
right.
run, yeah.
And then also with this German team coming into the Euro Cup, not many expectations.
Right, given the group of death and just all the turmoil that's going on. Joachim Löw's swan song.
Right, and also like some of those players, the Schweinsteigers and Klose, not Klose. That's Götze too. Like those guys, that era of the German team has kind of transitioned.
Pretty much just Müller and Hummels left.
Yeah. And Hummels had retired, and he came back basically for this one.
And they scored one hell of own goal against.
yeah, dude. What do you think about? I know we'll be jumping around a lot, but everyone's played 2 games now. Italy's group has been locked up, so Italy 3 for 3. They win their group. They were the favorite to win the group. Mm-hmm. They've looked, I would say, the best of everyone so far.
Completely dominant.
Yeah,
they just win every second ball. Just how crisp they are, and just I think 6 of their 7 goals have been from open play. Like today was their first goal from a set piece, which is really impressive considering the Italian reputation is very defensive, scoring on set pieces. Now it's just everything's free flowing. And they got a decision made because I thought if you watch the Wales game, like Verratti looked so good. This was his first game back. He was winning tackles. He had assists. I think he created the most chances. He looks back on it. But then you have the situation where it's Italy's got Barella, Jorginho, and then Locatelli, who scored the brace against Switzerland. And now you have Verratti coming back. Like, a big decision. Like, which of the 3 out of the 4 you're going to play in your midfield? Because usually you don't want to break up a winning team, but at the same time, it's like Verratti's such a special player. But if you're Italy, you got to be stoked. Like, to me, they've been the most convincing team by far. They haven't been threatened at all this tournament, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them be tested. It looks like bracket-wise, them and Belgium can meet in the quarters, and that would be, you want to talk about a sensational matchup. Oof.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the bracket right now while we talk. The one thing that I really liked about Italy, and it was something we sort of spotlighted going into this tournament, not your traditional Italy team, not defensive minded like you said, and a lot of unknown with this new goalie coming in.
Still got to give the defense not allowed a single goal.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But offensively, they've been
Free flowing.
yeah, and creating chances too.
Right,
Like they're
right.
dominating and high quality chances too. So I think this Italian team is very interesting. And again, like just I was talking with a lot of my family yesterday because my aunt married an Italian dude. So like my cousins are all Italian, Italian by marriage kind of thing. But they're all wearing like their Italian jerseys and whatnot. And it was funny. One of the guys there, they were talking about betting, and I kind of just had like my foot kind of crossed like that. And I was on my phone, and I'm just like looking over at them, and like we kind of make eye contact. He's like, "Hey kid, you know about betting?" I was like, "Yeah, a little bit."
Hey, kid.
and then my uncle Danny walks over. He goes, "Yo, this fucking kid. He's like, he's a guru. This kid's a star." He's like, "Of course he knows. He knows more about betting than all of us." And then he was like, "Yo, what do you think of Italy coming into the tournament?" I was like, "Yo, look, my expectations were super low because a lot of guys sort of." This is a new crop of Italian players.
Right.
I knew they would bounce back because it was a fucking national travesty that they didn't make the World Cup, right? And they're kind of just, again, they're just always in the background.
Right.
Like you're talking about your Belgiums, your Frances, your England. You're like, don't forget about the Italians, especially with the group. And look, they're going to play Group C second place.
Basically,
Group C,
whoever wins Austria, Ukraine.
Austria, Ukraine.
So that's a pretty favorable draw.
It should make it through.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It should make it through. So, yeah, the Italians, man, they're legit. Can I ask you about that red card to the Wales player?
Today? Little harsh.
Straight red?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It was. I felt for it. Like it was pretty nasty, but not to that extent.
Definitely a card.
Yeah. That was the first straight red of the tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the second red of the tournament. Same referee.
Okay.
He gave the red
Polish
card and the Polish.
Kongogiak, yeah.
I was like, come on, man. Yeah. Straight red. Like, that's a little excessive. Right. But Wales holds on. I mean, they didn't hold on in the game. They lost 1-0. But they make it through. And they're second in the group. And they will be playing second in Group B.
Which is very much still up for grabs. Russia has it right now, but then it could be Finland. Denmark is still not out of it, which I'm happy about. You want to hear a stat? Denmark, 43 shots so far this tournament, 2 games. Only allowed 7 shots. Only 1 goal scored, 3 conceded.
And they missed the penalty.
And one of those goals allowed. I remember you tweeted about this. That second goal Belgium scored, which finished with De Bruyne, that was one of the best goals of the tour.
My favorite goal of the tournament.
Over Schick.
The Schick one is like the highlight reel, but like as a pure soccer fan, the build up, the 1-2s, the
way
layoff.
Lukaku dribbled through them, his size,
and then KV De Bruyne,
he just comes off the bench. All right, we're down 1-0. All right, we'll finish this.
And just like bottom
weaker
post,
foot too,
weaker foot like that. That was my favorite goal of the tournament.
Man. Yeah, Belgium making it easy.
What are you? Let's go back a little bit to the couple days prior, just the second round of everyone playing. Again, Italy, they won 3-0 against Switzerland. Wales, let's skip over that a little bit. Let's go to Ukraine, Macedonia.
Didn't really so much about the penalties. 2 missed penalties in the same game.
Yeah.
Sheesh. But it was good to see Ukraine going because I thought we talked about Portugal, Germany a little bit. We're going to get more into it, but Ukraine, Netherlands, we talked about a really good game, and I just see this Ukraine team as like a free flowing side. Like it's not one of those mid tier countries that's going to play really rigid. It's like no, they're going to attack. So we saw the nice back heel which Yarmolenko finished. Ukraine, look, I don't expect them to go far, but I think at least they're entertaining, which you got to take.
Well, listen, if they end up finishing second in that group,
playing Italy.
No, this is Group B, isn't it?
Ukraine's Group C with Austria, North Macedonia, Netherlands.
Okay. You know why? Because look at this layout here. That's why I got confused.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so scratch that. Yeah, they would play Italy.
Second place of B, I believe, plays Wales, which is pretty good draw.
It's a nice
like
draw.
Wales, Denmark, Wales, Russia.
Yeah.
Or you won't count out Finland, even though.
Yeah. Well, both sides, both the team from Group B who finishes second is probably like, yo, we get Wales, and then Wales is also like, yo, we get second.
I want to give a little quick shout for Wales because I thought I know, man, Turkey talk about the biggest letdown of the tour, but that Wales going to Baku, like Baku's right next to Turkey, so for them to go there and win 2-0, and man, seeing vintage Gareth Bale, just a joy to watch, and then even Aaron Ramsey popping up. So Wales, I always get a good vibe when I watch Wales, and I underestimate them totally. And I'm glad I had to eat my words because they still have enough talent where it's like, all right, we could definitely enjoy this. And who doesn't love watching Bale? Even though, man, he skied that penalty. You want to talk about Rosie? That penalty just went far.
Oh, yeah, man. And also today he had a chance.
Great chance. That volley.
Yeah. Just like right outside. Like I think it was on the penalty mark.
Right, it was a set piece. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on over to...
What were your Dutch boys?
Dutch boys, listen. They 2-0. This dude Dumfries, bro.
He's gonna get signed. So I don't know where he's gonna get signed.
He's gonna get signed. Yeah. The two most impressive players for me this tournament that I didn't know anything about: Dumfries and Spinazzola.
Yeah. So two fullbacks. You got a left back and a right back.
And I love that kind of fullback who attacks, overlaps, and crosses, and creates.
Right, and then gets in on like the counters. Like that second goal, the way he just ran. Like you only see right backs do that off the counter like that. So I'm still not really all that convinced by Netherlands. But look, you got to beat whoever's in front. Like I have people telling me, oh, Italy, they haven't beaten one yet. But I'm like, look, it's group stage. You got to beat whoever's in front of you. I think Italy's looked far more dominant than Netherlands. But it's just good to see Netherlands. I think a little more exciting. If Depay was a little more clinical, he could easily have had a hat trick. But he missed. I think he has the worst miss of the tournament.
Oh yeah, that was rough
right there. So.
Well, you know why, right? Because I fucking bet that asshole to be top goal scorer, and I'm like, oh, my dad said the same thing. He's like, he should have 3 goals at halftime, and he's like, of course he doesn't because we bet him to win. I was like, yeah. Now Ronaldo and the dude from the Czech Republic, are
Lukaku's gonna get in. That's he's at 2. He'll get more.
Yeah. Do you think they play him? Because you saw Italy today's kind of, like, I'm worried about, like, the Netherlands have locked up the top seed.
Yeah, I think Netherlands and Belgium, you'll see them rotate.
Yeah. Fuck, yo, they're definitely going to send Memphis. I'm going to be tight.
Because they already beat Ukraine and Austria in North Macedonia camp. But.
Okay, England and Scotland, 0-0 in London. Really, like, an ugly game, I felt like. A lot of fouls too.
Given all the hype, because if you followed like ESPN, BBC, any sort of major website, platform, network, whatever you want to phrase it as, like England Scotland was being hyped up as like the end all be all matchup, the oldest game in football, the biggest rivalry, and the tendency was definitely there. And then I was looking forward just because, all right, Scotland. It's been over 20 years, and I thought even though the scoreline didn't show it, like they played really well against Czech Republic. Just they weren't clinical, and Czech Republic scored 2 wonderful goals. But I did not expect Scotland to have the more dangerous chances. Like they could have scored 2 with if I think Reece James had cleared one off the line, and I don't know, Scotland just doesn't have that striker. But then again, I think with England, it's just they don't know their best team right now. They're still trying to figure out a lot of these teams do not know their best lineup. But I think it's concerning for England just because they have so much talent at their disposal and they don't know how to integrate it, and that's kind of frustrating just because you had time to prepare and. They still like it's bizarre to me that Jadon Sancho's not on the bench. Like one of my favorite journalists' names is Raphael Haugenstein. He's like the main German journalist. He goes, England must be phenomenal attack if Jadon Sancho is on. Can't even make the bench. Like imagine him not even on the bench.
Yeah, he didn't. They didn't even like dress him.
Like,
man, they showed Jack Grealish warming up, and he got like a indie wrestler pop from the audience.
He's like everyone's dude. They compare it to Gascoigne from the 90s. So like he's like their cult hero because he's just such a tricky, diverse player. But he didn't make much of an impact when he came on. Scotland was just well organized and they compete. Even though they're the only team right now in the tournament that hasn't scored yet, you can't deny the intensity they're playing with. And I think getting Tierney back was huge. McTominay looks really good for Man United. They're really solidified. Now it's just a matter of they got to score. For my sake, I hope they don't because they're playing Croatia next, and that's an elimination game. But Salute to Scotland, though. I think they gave England everything they could handle, and they probably should have won.
I don't see it with England.
I say give it a little time. A little time. I think the big concern is Harry Kane right now. That's a big concern.
How much time, bro? They play one more game and then it's a knockout stage. You can't give them any more time than that.
Well, time is one game. I would say, look, not many teams have been firing all cylinders, and I understand this frustration with England just because there's so much talent there, and they're still trying to figure out what their best team is, and the defense is still a little creaky, even though they haven't conceded yet. There's still questions back there. I just think it's a matter of people want to see Harry Kane and eventually Phil Foden as well. Phil Foden's actually looked pretty bright so far. It's just they want to see that goal, because you look at a team like England. How do you only have one goal over 2 games? I think that's the thing that really.
When the whole storyline was your offensive talent, it was going to be all these weapons at your disposal, and you can't generate any goals.
Right. Like their best chance, John Stones had a free header, but he hit off the post. Which could have totally changed the game. Because the thing is, like when you're a heavy favorite in these games, that first goal, if you score within the first 15, 20 minutes, then the other team's chasing you and opens things up. It's so crucial if you're a favorite.
Well, not even the first 15, 20 minutes. I feel like the lesser nation, the lesser team in this standpoint, and what we mean by that is like just the level of talent, right? Like
France-Hungary.
This is going to be the 4th straight mentioning of a Greece.
All right, here we go.
but Greece in the Euro Cup, when they won it, all those games, they jumped out to a lead. Because if you scored on Greece, it felt like they were climbing Mount Everest to fucking tie the game.
But if they
got up ahead, then how
deep?
And they were great at doing that. So I feel like you saw with Hungary, right? Until they gave up that first goal to Portugal, then the floodgates opened up. The same shit with Italy in that first game. It's 0-0. Turkey's playing well. They give up that first goal. Floodgates. It's just always the case.
Right. So, I wouldn't panic over England yet, but you really need to see a strong response against the Czech Republic, especially since that group, they need a win, because right now the Czechs have over amount goal differential. So England's got to show something there to secure first place.
So I want to see what that drawing will look like after, because I know that the England group,
they play second place
of the group of death.
Yeah.
So
second place would be better, but knowing Gareth Southgate and the whole English mentality, they want first place. They're gonna battle for it. I don't think they're gonna be rotating much. I think they have a point to prove, and they need players to get back on form. Even though, look, the Czechs are no pushovers. They are. You want to talk about intense teams? First off, all of them I think are over 6 feet tall. Besides Schick, that Czech Republic team has to be the tallest in the tournament. They are massive, and they fight for every ball. They're dangerous on set pieces. I think they can give England a huge test. They probably should have beat Croatia on Friday, and I think even knockout stage, I could see them making the quarters.
Second in Group D would face second in Group E.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Is it possible? Ready to put your aluminum foil hat on, conspiracy theory guy?
All right. Black helicopters.
Black helicopters have us surrounded. I saw InfoWars stickers.
If you want to lose brain cells.
All over Dip Mars. I was like, when the fuck did this happen?
Alex Jones is promoted here.
But is it possible, on a serious note, England wants to finish second to avoid...
Definitely, but I don't think that's, like, knowing Gareth Southgate, I don't think it's the message he wants to send across. Like, you're going to tell your team.
They did that in the World Cup where they
that was to Belgium, though. Big difference. And they were coming off 2 like 5-0 wins. Well, no, they barely beat Tunisia, but then they beat Panama like 5-0. So they had momentum. I think now, coming off the Scotland draw, they're going to go out for it. Even though, no, you're right. The second place is definitely a better draw. Even though it would be interesting if they somehow have to face Spain. Even though Spain does not look... No one's going to be fearing Spain. No one's going to be fearing Spain, but, like, you got to realize when you play Spain, you're going to only have 30% possession, so you just got to capitalize those, like, 3-4 opportunities. We're going to get Spain right now?
Yo, they are... Put it this way. If you're someone who's trying to convince people to watch soccer, don't make them watch Spain.
Okay.
Because it's a boring fucking watch.
You got to really enjoy passing and, like, winning possession to really enjoy Spain, because they are slow.
It's slow. It's super methodical, and it's 120 passes in their end of the field. It is abysmal. Like, I don't like it at all. At least that Spain team back in the day, they'd have like Fernando Torres, David
Superstars.
Villa.
That midfield, like, come on, Xavi and Iniesta.
And they would create, like, Jordi Alba would like
Yeah.
come in and make a cross or two. Like, here, it's like, yo, they literally want to walk the ball into the net. They want to go 1-2, 1-2, tic tac, and then like, well, it's like, bro, fucking shoot.
Be aggressive, yeah.
Be aggressive.
Take chances.
Damn.
Yeah, they don't take chances. It's about risk averse as possible. You want to.
For the love of the football
Yeah,
gods.
they're in third, right? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with them.
Yeah, and yo, they play Slovakia, who Slovakia is in second.
Right, they should. I would assume they gotta win that.
Right. But Sweden playing Poland, I think
Sweden could win that. Yeah.
Sweden wins that group. You get Spain, England in the second round potentially. In the round of 16.
Right. It's just Spain looks so fragile. Like that goal they concede. Salute to Lewandowski. Everyone knows how great he is, but it just Laporte looks so weak next to like this. How they just give up chances. Like, remember Poland hit the post in that game, and then Lewandowski should have scored in that rebound. Like, I feel like whenever Spain loses possession, they are so prone to just conceding a goal because they have so many players up front just trying to walk into the net, and then they don't have the solidity back there because no more PK, no more Ramos. It's just everything about Spain just seems very fragile. And then, speaking of fragile, Morata. Like, I know he scored, but that rebound, I don't know, like, right up there with Depay as the worst miss of the tournament. And he just, to me, I compare him, like, if you want to make like a football reference, so in terms of body language, like, to me, the worst quarterbacks with body language was Mark Sanchez and Jay Cutler. Like, when they threw an interception, you just see how down they got. When Morata misses a golden opportunity, he just looks like the world's ending. You don't want forget just stars. How about your main striker to have that kind of body language? Like, look, strikers are going to miss chances, but it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't want to talk about them anymore. They've been so frustrating to watch. But that Saturday, you were right. Like, the Hungary-France game was very interesting, and then Portugal-Germany. Germany, this seemed like a statement win for them because now they got Hungary to end it. Pretty confident to say that they should win that group.
Yeah,
now.
it's in Munich because they play all their games there.
Yeah, unless France goes out and beats Portugal, which I do see some fuckery happening in that game. I could see France and Portugal tying to make sure that they both advance. You have a lot of guys that play together, or have played together in the past. Pogba with the Man U guys. You don't buy into that notion?
I just think Portugal, after such a letdown, they're going to obviously change up the lineup, and I just think they need some sort of strong response. But they're going to be wary of, given how good France is. I could see them being conservative, but they have to somewhat go for it.
Yeah.
After a game like that, because they got picked apart. Like, I knew Cancelo was going to be a big loss when he tested positive for COVID, but Semedo, oh man, what a liability! And this is not the first time he's been on the receiving end of a beating. Like, I thought he was the biggest part of why Barcelona lost 8-2 to Bayern. He played right back. Like, Alphonso Davies, remember when he dribbled? That was on Semedo. So he's been a liability for a long time, and Portugal just does not have a right back. And Pepe looked every bit of 38 in that game.
Oh yeah, that one play with Gnabry,
yeah,
just had him like dancing.
I was like, oh man, imagine Mbappe 1-on-1.
Oh my goodness.
So Portugal very disappointed. I thought they'd be a lot more organized. You don't see that from a Francisco Santos team. But hey, I got to eat my words. I was very harsh on Germany coming out of that France game, and they looked reborn. And now they're playing three at the back. They got these fullbacks. Like, Kimmich has always thought Kimmich was world class, but now they got this guy Robert Gosens who plays for Atalanta. He was just dashing, and it's exciting, man. Salute to Germany. I think the sport's better when Germany's at.
How many players from Serie A are making noise in this tournament that aren't from like Inter and Juventus and AC? It's like Sassuolo, Atalanta, Napoli, and I know they made some Champions League runs, but I'm talking about just like historical context. Looking at this team, it's
a good league.
Yeah, no, man, for sure.
They're doing their thing, and I just wonder, especially with Germany, like, because not a lot of their players play in England now. England and Italy. It's not everyone's playing for Bayern or Dortmund. They're pretty the diverse units. So to see everything come together is exciting for them. And I was a little concerned because just at the beginning, it's like, okay, because I thought the first goal they can see was really bad. It was off a corner. When you allow a goal off a corner, you get counterattacked that badly. Like Ronaldo just tapped it in. I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be one of those days for Germany. And then they came back, and then when that fourth goal went, I'm like, oh, don't tell me they're gonna put up 7 right now. But it dialed down a bit. But now, like, so you mentioned you think Portugal for France it could be a draw.
Yeah.
You think they could do that?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I feel like France now is. I know France. We talked about this before. How France always starts off slow in the group stage, but come off that game against Hungary when I thought they blew a couple of big opportunities. Like, I think Benzema is gonna have a point to prove now because I think he's looked pretty lethargic these first 2 games.